All right, welcome to episode number 2. I'm going to show you the best open source and free software available and show you how you can create freely. In this episode, we're going to discuss audio recording software, video editing and rendering software, and I've got a couple of very specialized pieces of software that I'm going to show you too. In episode number 1, we discussed photo editing, illustration, and desktop publishing. One thing I forgot to mention in the last episode was these videos are being produced entirely with open source software. On my other YouTube channel, I have published over 1,000 videos, and every single one of those videos was created entirely with open source software. So you can definitely create freely. All right, the first application we're going to discuss, and I will bring up a slide that will give you, the features of the software, and then I will bring up a slide that shows you what the interface looks like. The first application I want to show you is called Audacity, and it's multi-track audio recording and editing software. It has tons of features, and it has tons of plugins available. It is very versatile, very powerful audio recording and editing software. It's the software that I'm using to capture the audio for this video production that you're watching right now. Two of the things that I really like to use Audacity for is noise reduction. So you can remove any background noise that you may have in your audio. And then also if you need to increase the gain or you need to increase the timbre, either bass or treble. It's just an excellent audio recording application. And I'll show you the interface right now that shows, the recording from the first video. What you're seeing now is me having Audacity loaded on the desktop, and I'm editing the WAV file that I recorded from the previous video. All right, so let's go to the next application that I want to introduce you to. And this application is a specialized application. It's called LMMS. And LMMS stands for Let's Make Music. And this application was made by musicians for musicians. So if you're a musician, if you're an aspiring musician, if you have any MIDI devices that can interface with your computer, you could actually use your keyboard on your desktop or your laptop as a keyboard in the audio program. So it is basically a synthesizing music production piece of software, and I will show you the interface to that. Now, I'm not a musician, so I was just playing around with it using different types of instruments. You can see the little tiny keyboards up there that you can use to produce notes. And so I was just hammering around on the keyboard on the laptop with different instruments and different filters and stuff to see what it was like. But if you're into music, if you're a musician, this application will probably be of interest to you. Okay, so the next slide that I want to bring up, OBS Studio, Open Broadcaster Software. Now, this is a very versatile piece of software. You can do video recording, you can do live streaming, audio recording. You can use all different types of assets with it, whether it's video, whether it's video from a webcam, whether you want to import video that you've already taken from a camera. You can record audio live. You can bring audio in from other sources. You can use images. You can record your desktop with it, your browser. So for instruction purposes, if you're wanting to create live tutorials, if you're wanting to broadcast live, but you don't have to broadcast with it. You can actually take all this and you can compile it you can render it into a video. So I'll bring up the interface and what I was using it for. I had a series of images in a folder, and so I imported those, and I was creating a slideshow with it, a full screen slideshow. and then I rendered that into a video. So there's all kinds of really cool things that you can do with OBS Studio. You don't have to use it as a broadcasting software, but you can definitely use all kinds of assets and transitions to create videos if you want to publish the videos later on. All right, so now let's go to the video editing software. And one of the applications that I use on a regular basis is KDN Live. And KDN Live is a full-featured, very versatile video production application. It works very well. I'll bring up the interface so that you could see it. And right here, what I have up is my chroma key filter. So when I film this, I film it against a green screen. And then I basically use the chroma key filter within KDE Live to remove the green screen background so that you see me superimposed over the Tinkerz Lab logo, the banner there. So it works extremely well. I mean, it's fantastic video editing software. It's extremely stable, full-featured video production software, and it runs on multiple platforms, you know, Linux, Windows, Mac OS. All right, so the next one that I want to bring up is called OpenShot. And what I'm doing in OpenShot is I'm bringing in the exact same media that I used in the previous application. So what I'm doing is I'm testing each one of these video production software applications with the exact same media assets that I use. I tested 3 different ones, and I'll show you the other one in a minute, but this is the interface. And so you can see that the chroma key on it worked just fine as well. It's got a very polished looking interface. So I'm going to be testing out a lot of the features in OpenShot, and KDN Live is the application I've been using for a long time. OpenShot is a great looking video production software, and I'm going to be producing tutorials on all these applications that I'm showing you other than LMMS. I'm not a musician, so I won't be able to provide tutorials on that software, but all the other software I'm going to be showing you today, I will be providing tutorials on. All right, so the next application I'm going to show you is Shotcut, and it is another free and open source video production application, and I'll show you the interface. This one, you can see I have the exact same media resources loaded in it. I have set up my chroma key filter, and as you can see, my chroma key filter, my green screen is removed from the background. And so I'm going through and I'm setting up my video editing with the same resources on all 3 of those video editing applications. Editing the resources the same way, and then rendering those videos, and then comparing to 3. Now, when I use video editing software, when I get everything set up, you know, I've done all my editing, I'm ready to render the video, I always render the video in a lossless format so that the finished product has all the details and all the clarity of the original source media. And then I will transcode it before I upload it to things like YouTube. So the next application I want to show you is just that. It is an actual video transcoder. This might be another application that you guys may have heard of before, but it's called Handbrake. And Handbrake is great for taking that pristine video and then transcoding it into whatever format you want to put it in, you know, controlling your quality, your bit rate. You know, it really decreases the size of the file before you upload it. And if you have your settings just right, you get really good quality video, even after it's compressed. So that's another utility that is just a fantastic tool for transcoding this pristine video after I've rendered it from the video editing software. And I've been using it for years. So I will, and I've got my own, my own profile set up for different types of video. So that is another application I will be providing tutorials on, and I'll provide you guys with my settings that you can test out and use, and then tweak it to your own, your own preference. But all this is fantastic software. If the only thing that you have to worry about is the hardware, and the cost of the software is taken out of the equation, it certainly makes it much easier to set up your own little studio. And I will, after this series is complete with all the video editing and stuff, software applications, I will go through and I will do some reviews of different pieces of hardware that I use, provide you with links to those in case you're interested in it. But stay tuned, because I'll be providing reviews and videos on all this, tutorials on all this software. So that's a wrap. We're done with this episode. Stay tuned. I'm going to be producing an entire series of videos to introduce you to free and open source software, and producing tutorials to show you how to use that software so you can create freely. I'll see you next time.